Hello there, and welcome to the wonderful world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Croak.
Hope you guys enjoyed my new intro, and I did get a lot of good feedback from it, so you guys can still, even though I made an intro video, you guys can still comment on it. But I have a battle against this guy I battled just recently, actually, just a couple of minutes ago. It was on the Pokemon Online ladder because honestly, fuck the Pokemon Showdown ladder. I can't take it. It's still, I thought, Smogon, yeah, Smogon has good OU, but you know what? No, I can't deal with Pokemon Showdown. Like, Smogon on the PO servers was good, but Smogon on Pokemon Showdown, it's not good. Fuck it. I'm done with it. So I'm just gonna do OU, and it's pretty good actually. It's quite challenging. It's still as challenging as Smogon, even though you don't have like the frequent tryhards. You still have decent teams you're going up against. So, anyways, it's against this Chinese guy, obviously, because it's Chinese. Called, I guess Little Wing, because I translated it. So, battle against Little Wing. And he has a Genesect, Tyranitar, Alakazam, Gastrodon, Skarmory, Credillia. I can see right off the bat, this team really doesn't like Terrakion, because he's touching up around fighting defensive coverage with Skarmory and his Alakazam. Even though Alakazam doesn't really take stuff that well. I'm sure it has like Focus Sash because of Magic Guard, but he's really just touching up around it because he has that Tyranitar, Skarmory, that special and physically defensive core going on there, along with really annoying like Gastrodon for water type coverage just to be more annoying against rain teams such as mine. My team is called Naval Magnetism. Yeah, I made it myself. It was back when Glacial Cataclysm by Eternal was roaming around, so I decided to make a team that counters it, and here it is. It's kind of like a drag mag in the rain, kind of really whorish try-hard team I have here, but probably make an RMT of it later or something like that, just because of how generally good it is. But anyways, let's get it started without me just rambling on. So he's leading out with Genesect. I definitely don't want to stay in with it says Politoed, pretty sure it means Scizor. Don't want to stay in with Scizor, so I'm gonna switch out to my Politoed, which his name's Scizor. So he's going to Flamethrower because, well, that's the obvious thing to do against a Scizor since it's 4 times effective. And so I'm just going to say, hey, and cockblock him. Obviously he's a Scarfed Genesect, and he brings in his Tyranitar. Now, I really hate sand teams just because it really cockblocks my my Politoed. Now, you see Rotom Wash, but you see it as regular Rotom. That's a battle animation bug, soon to be fixed probably, and just don't think much of it. It's Rotom Wash, but I'm just going to bring it in to just get some switch initiative. I'm gonna go ahead and I do believe, yes, I go ahead and I trick, and lucky for me it lands on a Gastrodon. Now, Gastrodons are quite offensive. It's not like they're just support Pokemon with recovery. It's not the only moves it has in its arsenal, so I didn't quite cripple this Gastrodon. If it was something like a Blissey, I might have, just because Seismic Toss is just so such a vague move that that does such standard damage that you can just play around it. But in this case, Gastrodon can still attack. So I switch into my Ferrothorn because I can take the Scald, and Gyro Ball. I really don't really. This Ferrothorn is more of a support set than it is an offensive set, so therefore I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to Leech Seed just to kind of get an understanding of how he wants to curve his plays. Just seeing what he throws at me, and he decides to switch into his Genesect. So I'm just going to protect to scout around a little bit, I do believe. Do I protect? Or I'm either going to protect or I'm going to switch into something. This Ferrothorn, again, as I said, yes, I do protect. As I said, is a support set, so, you know, it's a Leech Protect stall set, I would say, actually, even though, you know, I don't have the rain stall going on with the Tentacruel and the Toxic Spikes. It's still really nice because, I mean, it serves the same purpose as Heatran with Protect, in terms of scouting. And so that's just how I do with my Ferrothorn. What else? I like to log Terrakion in on certain stuff so that I can switch into my Dragonite and just, you know, take it out, because Terrakion usually close combats. Because I really couldn't predict what Terrakion was going to do if I didn't just have my Ferrothorn here protecting. Anyway, so he does not have a Terrakion, but he does have a Tyranitar, and he's going to predict my Protect and go ahead and set up Stealth Rocks. I'm just setting up my Spikes just to get some damage off of whatever he decides to switch into. I go ahead and Gyro Ball thinking I'd do more, but this happens to be a really physically defensive Tyranitar, so it doesn't do that much. He goes ahead with a Crunch because he thinks I'm going to switch into something like Politoed, and he's right, I do. But I thought, you know, he'd over-predict and go ahead and Fire Blast again, which would have been really nice because this is a... Oh, he does, that's great. It must have been somewhere later where he just crunches my why does it say Scizor? But he crunches my Politoed. I'm gonna go ahead and Focus Blast, I mean, I don't know why I thought he would stay in, but it's just, I don't want to... I see that I have Parasong, honestly. I have Parasong on this Politoed, and I really should put Toxic, but I just really like Parasong for the sole purpose of getting rid of that last attacker that might be able to sweep the rest of my team, or it tries to like sub and just try to set up and it somehow works. If it happens to be his last Pokemon, it's just really useful with Parasong, but in this case I just go ahead and Focus Blast because it's more safe, but it still doesn't do enough. I switch in my Rotom Wash because I know I can take a Scald, and Earth Power doesn't do anything because I have Levitate. I'm gonna go ahead and what do? I feel like I'm going to Trick here. No, he switches into his Tyranitar and it gets hurt by Spikes. He brings in his Sandstorm again, and yes, I do Trick, and which does not do anything. I probably should have predicted and gone ahead with the Hydro Pump, but whatever. Not sure if that was min-max, but he does have leftovers, so honestly I'm not going to go for another Hydro Pump. Gonna just go ahead and Volt Switch, kind of bring him down on HP a bit, and switch my Politoed. Now this is where he crunches, and I get a defense drop. Now I'm not going to stay in because honestly I don't want to lose my Politoed, and I don't want to lose the Weather War, because it's very crucial, and we still don't know where the battle is going to go. So I switch in my Scizor because I see that, you know, we're in the rain, and it's really unlikely that he's going to Fire Blast. And so he switches in his Gastrodon, but I go ahead and U-turn, and he scolds me, which thank God did not get the burn, because you guys will see later that it's very crucial, even the littlest things. So here I just go ahead and I switch my Ferrothorn just to get some Iron Barbs damage, and because I know that Ferrothorn is honestly death fodder at this point, so why not just fodder off to something like Genesect. And which also plays a good role because later I finish that Genesect off with an Extreme Speed. You guys will see where the Extreme Speed comes in. I go ahead and U-turn. This Scizor is really controlling the game right now, but the U-turn is very crucial because now I get to take out a Skarmory, which means my Scizor can roam around freely, and the rest are special attackers, though a lot of people do assume that my Dragonite is physical because I have so much special fighting, or special offensive coverage, that people would assume that. So now he switches in his Alakazam. Alakazam's definitely very annoying. I just kind of want to just break this Alakazam's assumed Focus Sash, because honestly I don't know what else he would run. I mean, Alakazam, Magic Guard, Focus Sash, just, you know, it's kind of natural. Comes natural to you when you're team building. So anyways, he Focus Blasts my Magnezone, and he wrecks pretty much the rest of my Pokemon. So now I only have my Dragonite, and I have my Scizor, even though it's really misleading down there. Politoed is presumed as... It's assumed that Politoed is Scizor for whatever reason. It's you know, another replay glitch, but thank God I hit all my Thunders here, because this is in the sand, and he gets a Crunch Off on me, which doesn't do enough. I see that he doesn't have Stone Edge for whatever reason, and that's good, because now I'm just going to go ahead and Extreme Speed his Genesect, which this is where my mixed Dragonite comes in with the Extreme Speed. I have like double priority with Scizor and Dragonite, which is really nice, and it really plays out here, because this is like the last. This is such a close battle, and I won just because I had that priority with Scizor, and especially with Dragonite. I really want to point out my Dragonite set there. I was really just happy with my Dragonite set and how it worked out. So I ended here with a Bullet Punch to the Credilli's face, and that is good game. So Choice Banded Scizor, it's so standard, but hey, whatever, it's still very strong. And you know, I did put an alternate Scizor setup on my blogspot, or my website, if you guys want to check that out. That's in my channel. Just kind of, this Scizor just kind of reminded me of it. As I said, it's such a standard set. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Wi-Fi OU battle. I don't really do Wi-Fi OU that much, but I have been advancing on the ladder. I'm around like 1,000 rank wise. I don't remember my points. It's like I don't exactly know my points, but I'm in like the 1,000 range, which is nice comparing. I mean, if you compare it to, you know, it's 1,000 out of 100,000 people. You know, that's pretty good, because that wouldn't be such a good UU or, you know, RU or well, in this case LU or NU ranking, but it's definitely good in OU. So I was pleased with that, and I was pleased with how this team came out to be. It was actually better than I expected, because I just changed up a little bit. I changed my Politoed up a little bit, and I changed my I changed what did I change? I changed my Magnezone out a little bit. Gave it HP Ice for whatever reason. I was running HP Fire, probably for, yeah, definitely, now that I think of it, definitely for a Ferrothorn. So anyways, this video is getting quite long, so I did talk a little bit too much, but hope that didn't bother you guys. Anyways, so as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.